Hey there, it's Lauren from Rustic Honey, and welcome back. Today, I am excited to introduce to you our newest addition to our family, as well as talking about the in-between season. I hope that no matter what season of life you're in, that this message will also resonate with you. Hi, friends. It is so good to be back with you today and to introduce you to our newest addition to the family. As you can hear, Ruth here in the background is recording with me this morning. And so you might hear some little baby noises in the background. This morning, I am getting a breakfast ready for our kiddos. We're finally starting to get our groove a little bit with the new baby in the house, but we're definitely still in an in-between season, if you will, while we adjust. This is little baby Ruth, and I'll get her picture in here in a few of these clips for you today, but she is such a sweetheart. I was so excited when they announced that it was a baby girl. As some of you may know, if you've been following us, we didn't find out the gender ahead of time. We actually have never found out the gender of any of our children. And if you have the opportunity to do that, I always tell friends that it's the most genuine surprise you could ever have. It's so fun not knowing. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy. most pregnant women that I talk to, they're like, I could never do that. I'm such a planner. But I promise you, I'm a planner too. If you've watched this channel, you know that. But it's so fun whenever you find out the gender at birth. So anyway, if you guessed girl, you were right. We named her Ruth. And we are all just completely in love with her, of course. So the kids have had a lot of fun holding their baby sister. In fact, we often have to take turns because everyone wants to hold her all the time. She may be a little spoiled, but really, so far, she's been a really good baby. I don't want to jinx it, but she sleeps well, and everything has been going fairly smoothly. So, as you're seeing this, though, this is 2 weeks out, so definitely don't think that I was like up on my feet and in the kitchen right away. That's definitely not what happened here. I had a lot of help in those early days, and I spent a lot of time just in bed or in my comfy rocker with Ruth and focused just on feeding her and watching a little TV, and that was really nice. A nice, relaxing pace for once. I'm one of those people, though, that after like a couple weeks of doing nothing, I really craved getting back out of the house and doing things around the home. So it's like you got to have a balance because I think sometimes, like in hindsight, I'm already like, gosh, I just want to sit here and watch TV all day and snuggle the baby, which I will do on occasion this summer, I'm sure. But you also like crave the balance of doing things and working with your hands and making a home. So I don't know. It's got to be a little bit of both, I think, for me. So this morning, it's been so beautiful outside. We've been getting some regular rain showers, and it was just the perfect morning to have a little breakfast on the porch. We'd received a lot of food and gifts from family and friends, and my mother-in-law had given me a couple bottles of sparkling grape juice so that we could enjoy those and toast to the new baby. So we're finally breaking those out this morning on the porch, and the kids are enjoying this little treat, of course. So we thought we would cheers to the new baby here on the porch while she's taking a nap here in her stroller. And I wanted to sit down and talk with the kids a little bit more about what our summer intentions are, because this is the last week of school for them. And soon we will be in full swing here at home with 4 kids, including a newborn. And I honestly just want to kind of get my bearings on how I expect the summer to go and what I would like to accomplish, what I want them to focus on, just so that we can go into it with good intentions and not like squander the summer away playing video games or just missing out on the things that we really want to do. So we wrote down some things like sports or days we wanted to go swimming or picnics, like just kind of some bucket list things that we want to see ourselves doing for the summer. And then I also got their ideas on some snacks because I want to prep some snacks ahead of time. Because my kids are hungry. My boys will eat me out of house and home in the first week, I'm sure. And I just want to be prepared for what they expect or what they would like to see on the menu. Now, I think when you're in an in-between season like this, where I feel like we're just adjusting and it's a really short season, I do really enjoy sitting down and journaling out some intentions or some plans for what I want to do next, because I think that I don't know, it gets me excited for the next stage, I guess. Not to wish away this stage at all, but there are challenges with a newborn, I think, sometimes that you always just think, okay, this isn't going to last very long. We're going to get through this. But sometimes you're just really tired. Sometimes there's little challenges that just keep you busy. And maybe it's that the changing season is a little bit challenging sometimes. And it's uncomfortable because it's different. And I feel like that's honestly, most of our lives are probably lived in the in-between seasons where we're uncomfortable. That's where we're growing. And I think maybe God gives us these little in-between seasons, like having a newborn, to maybe ground us a little bit, to take a step back and reevaluate where we are and where we want to go next. Instead of being in a hurry to just get back to being quote unquote normal, to the normal routine. Because I think often that's what your instinct does. You want to just get back to normal. You want to get back to being comfortable as soon as possible. When really you have a new normal, and that's such a gift, right? So we just need to maybe think about it a little bit more in that way. Be intentional about where we want to go next, because this in-between season is going to lead us to something even better. Now, of course, I have a very beautiful situation right now. Challenging and, of course, and very sleep deprived. And, newborns have their own challenges, of course. But it may be a completely different season for you. And it may not be something as beautiful as having a baby that has thrust you into this in-between season of your life. But if you just try to think in that way, then maybe you can find a new perspective on it. As I'm speaking of challenges, as I'm trying to just put Ruth in her carrier this morning, I changed her, and then she accidentally, I guess I'm new to this. You would think I would have it down by now. She had wet through her diaper while I was putting on her clothes, and then she spit up on her second outfit. So I was just laughing here at the complexity of something so simple as putting her in her baby carrier this morning. But gosh, I love these baby snuggles, and this little season is definitely one that goes by way too fast. I've been trying to put her in her little carrier as much as possible because I feel like this little season of her enjoying her wrap and fitting in it, honestly, only lasts for a month, I feel like, and then they just grow so quickly and they don't want to be in it as much. So I am soaking in all of the baby snuggles. I'm also still just thriving with all of these freezer meals. I know you guys, some of you joined me to stock our freezer, and I haven't even gotten into half of our stash yet because we have the best friends and family in the world who brought us amazing meals. In fact, I had to turn a few people down because we had so much food that people had brought us and freezer meals, and we're ready to go for a while still for summer. So I'm very grateful for that. My husband was recently telling me a story about an employee of his. He's a manager at one of their locations, and he had been on vacation for a good amount of time, and he came back, and he was very frustrated because he's like, I feel like I stepped away for a little bit, and now there's just extra work and so many things to come back to. And I felt like that's so, I think everyone's had that feeling, was vacation worth it? Because I came back to extra work. And of course, it wasn't a vacation having a baby, but a little bit of a time off of the household chores and the daily routines. And I felt the same way when I came back into trying to make a home. I feel like the manager of the house has stepped away for a couple weeks, and you can see it for sure. I am trying to get back just little by little doing some things, and I had to wash eggs today because they were just in abundance coming through our kitchen after the kids had done chores this week and last week, I guess. So I was just trying to get those washed and into the fridge so we're ready to go and they're not just cluttering up my countertop and my basket anymore. Now, if you're unfamiliar with eggs, they can sit out for a very long time because they have a coating on them once you get them from the chickens. But washing them, of course, after they're washed, they need to go in the fridge. As you saw in my bowl of water, I always put them in a bowl of water, and if any of them float, then we discard those. We definitely don't keep them because I was told that they're no longer good if they float. So that's always been my rule of thumb, especially if it's been a while since I've been able to wash eggs. We've been getting some good rain, and I hate to ever wish it away, but we have not planted anything yet on our farm. So we're waiting for about, a dry week to be able to get the planter out. And then, of course, we hope that the weather will continue to be beautiful this summer. We have so many projects on our farm. More projects. I often tell my husband, I was like, we have more projects than we probably have years left in our lives. This video is actually from a little later on in the week. We decided to come down and get some of this old hay that we had thrown down from the old hay loft. We were trying to clean it out, and I don't know how it'll work. We were just kind of winging it, but we usually put straw in our garden, but we thought we'd come down here and repurpose some of what we already had in here. It's a super windy day. We're expecting some tornado-like weather tonight, so we thought we would just get this done this morning, and at least we're getting somewhere on the garden. I think I had shared some footage of when we first planted potatoes and onions earlier this spring, and our soil was like sand. It was so dry after the drought last year. And then we have gotten rainfall regularly for the last, I don't know how many weeks at this point. We haven't really had one dry week. So our garden looks great, but we do need to get into the fields soon. It's been kind of weird having all of these stormy evenings that we haven't had in such a long time. On this particular evening, we ended up in a tornado warning, found ourselves in the basement, and then without power, so we went for a drive afterwards to just kind of assess some things around the farm. Storms can also remind us of the in-between season. Right now, you might be in the trenches of your season, in something in between. This is where most of our life is happening, and it's happening for us, although it feels uncomfortable and unpleasant at times. Whether your in-between season is good or bad, one thing is for sure, this too shall pass. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I would love to hear from you in the comments below, and I can't wait to hang out with you again soon.